Almost everyone believes that justice depends on one simple idea. People choose what they do and deserve whatever follows. But what if that assumption is wrong? Modern neuroscience, philosophy and even physics all raise serious questions about free will. Yet our legal systems still depend on it every single day. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this creates one of the biggest paradoxes in modern thinking, why the answer matters far beyond the courtroom. Physics, Consciousness and Reality, Dickie Dredd and Nigel Adams. This is part 39 in the video series, still on chapter 5, Ethics, Free Will and Human Life. And we are on section 36, Justice and Responsibility. Can systems work without free will? Bit of an aside, but interesting. If free will is shaky, then what happens to justice? Our entire legal and moral systems are built on the assumption that people are responsible for their choices. You steal, you're punished. You help, you're praised. Responsibility is the glue that holds social order together. But if every action is just the product of prior causes, genetics, upbringing, brain wiring, circumstances, where's the space for blame or praise? From a determinist standpoint, crime looks less like sin and more like physics. The person raised in deprivation with certain genetic hand of cards, exposed to trauma and running on a brain that fires in particular ways, was always going to end up in trouble. Punishing them as if they could have done otherwise makes no sense. Instead, the rational thing is to treat harmful behaviour the way we treat disease, with prevention, treatment and containment. Not vengeance, but management. This isn't just theory. Neuroscience keeps turning up examples where brain damage or tumours drastically change behaviour. People once thought of as evil turn out to be ill. That suggests that our moral judgments are less about metaphysical freedom and more about whether someone's machinery is functioning normally. If free will is an illusion, then justice as retribution starts to look like a superstition and is clearly advocated by theistic religions and Daily Mail readers. But here's a thought. If we abandon responsibility entirely, society unravels. You can't run a community by shrugging and saying, physics made him do it. People need rules, consequences, boundaries. So we end up in a middle ground. We act as if free will exists because the illusion is socially useful. Punishment and praise still influence behaviour, shaping future actions. Whether or not people are truly free, they respond to incentives. This connects back to ethics. If morality is just an evolutionary hack, then free will is part of the same hack. It creates the felt sense of agency, which makes cooperation and accountability possible. We feel like we could have chosen differently. That feeling helps hold the tribe together, even if under the bonnet everything is determined. Some philosophers try to salvage something deeper. They argue that while our choices are shaped by causes, our ability to reflect, to reason and to plan still matters. Even if those abilities are determined, they create higher order space where responsibility makes sense. Others go further and say that if consciousness is fundamental, then perhaps free will isn't an illusion at all, but a glimpse of the deeper order expressing itself through us. Either way, the tension remains. If there's no free will, justice as punishments looks broken. If there is free will, we still don't know how to fit it into physics. What we're left with is a messy compromise. We act like people are responsible because society would collapse otherwise, but in the back of our minds lurks the suspicion that no one could have done otherwise. Note that I'm currently writing a book on crime, punishment and justice, which is being reviewed at the moment, or proofread at the moment, so that'll be coming out fairly soon. Whole book on the subject. And maybe that's the real challenge, to build systems of ethics and justice that don't rely on metaphysical free will, but still honour the lived reality of choice, compassion and accountability. So perhaps the real challenge isn't proving whether free will exists, but building systems that recognise both the causes of behaviour and the need to protect society. If that's possible, justice may become less about revenge and more about understanding, prevention and accountability. But justice isn't the only thing that depends on free will. If our choices are determined, what keeps us striving to improve, to take responsibility, or even to care? In the next video, we'll explore whether motivation and responsibility are simply evolutionary survival tools, or whether they point towards something much deeper. So we're still in chapter 5 for the next section, ethics, free will and human life, and we're going to do section 37, motivation and responsibility, survival tools or deeper truths.